while since I did this. I literally took like a month off for real. I talked to Danny. He was like, "Yeah, my mom was really looking for some guys, looking for some podcasts." I'm like, yeah. Like, let me reach out. And then I seen him again. He was like, "Did you reach out?" I'm like, "Nah." So I had to. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that in too. Welcome back to another episode of the Fight Never Dies podcast, where no candle loses its flame by lighting another. And I am here with a professional. It's probably like the highest tier of professionalism that I have had. I don't know. I forgot my other guests. Everybody, I love y'all. Amun
Cosme.
I'm country, so
it's all good.
That's why I asked. I had to ask. I'm gonna keep asking.
So that's how I actually got the nickname Moon, because like my name is Amun, but like when we moved from up north to down south, everybody would say Amun. So my homies in school would just be like, "Man, we gonna call you Moon."
Yeah, and you ain't finna stress us out.
Yeah. And I was like, I go with that, and then I just been rocking with it ever since.
Yeah,
so everybody just call me Moon.
Okay, so born in New York,
moved to Philly, and then from Philly to Georgia.
Yeah, that's crazy because I've been in Georgia my entire life. So Philly and New York is literally like,
bro, it's a
Canada
whole other planet. It's a whole other planet.
You still visit?
I do. I went not last year, but was it last year? Nah, damn, we in 2023. The year before last, I went to go visit. I got family, my brothers and my cousins. Some of my brothers and cousins still live in New York or PA, like northern Pennsylvania, and then one of my cousins lives in Philly. So I went to Philly to go visit him for Christmas. Not last year, the year before that, and then like also saw my brother from New York as well. And then last year I did all fighting, so I was too busy to go.
Here's my question. This is how we go. First question. Does up north have better food, or is it the South?
Oh man, that's a. I feel like that's a opinion. Like everybody got an opinion, just like everybody got to ask. Like,
I like the way you answer.
It's like because I like spicy food, you might not like spicy food. So I'm like, yeah, they got the best, and you're like, I don't even eat that. So like, I just depends on what kind of food you like. I like the diversity of up north. Like,
okay, what you mean?
Because like so in New York, you got all the different boroughs. You got Brooklyn, you got Harlem, you got Queens, you got Manhattan. So you got like Manhattan up, like the upscale part of it. You got all your super duper fancy restaurants. Then you go to like different areas have different ethnicities. You got like Jamaica, Queens in Harlem. You got different Italian areas, you got Irish areas, you got Puerto Rican areas, you got Dominican areas. So you could literally taste, you got Chinatown, you could taste 8 different type of cuisines in different parts of New York and shit like that. And the South is a little bit more consistency across the board because like the South has a staple. There's not like one thing you can say, oh yeah, this is a northern food. Maybe one or two, but in the South, you can go to a bunch of different places and hey, look, you got yams, you got mac and cheese, you got cornbread, you got fried chicken, country fried steak, you got gravy, you can get that.
You been eating.
Oh bro, I eat. I might add a little, hey, I'll tell people, yeah, I'm in shape, but I'm a fat kid. I eat. So, but yeah, I would say that it's diverse. I can't say like, the North's food is better than the South's food. I feel like that's a skewed opinion.
I like that. You got some good. You been media trained? Cause that was good.
Media trained? No, I grew up talking a lot, so maybe
that was a good deflection. Because he didn't want to turn his back on the North. Listen, I'm sorry, it's the South. We got New Orleans is down here, man. Like. The South is really it's kind of hard to compete with. The South.
I am also competitive, so if you say it's the South, I might find a reason to make it the North. I just be like, New York is the melting pot, so know.
That's why. That's what I was thinking of when you was like all the different boroughs. I'm like, because like when I was overseas and I was in the Army, when you go out into the Ville or to the neighborhood around the base, it's kind of like that. Like you got like all these different countries and they just have their restaurant. You might have a Korean spot. There was a spot from they make kebabs.
Bro, I love kebab, like Mediterranean style.
Yes,
or
it was from Istanbul.
Moroccan. Oh,
bro, listen, let me tell you. There's a picture. It might still be there. If you are in Pyeongtaek, South Korea, and you see a picture of a skinny black man, very happy in a gray T-shirt on the wall of Istanbul kebab, I am him. That is me. I was very happy. I used to eat there every day. Like, I literally ate there every day, whether it was lunch or dinner. I'm eating there at least one of these days. And I got a special order. But that day, it was my birthday. And they was like, hey, let's take a picture. I'm like, yeah, put me on the wall. I'm going to go on the wall.
Y'all gonna remember me forever. Y'all ain't gonna see a lot of me around here. I'm just saying. That's part of the reason why, like, I really enjoy what I do, like, for a living, like the mixed martial arts aspect, because martial arts dives into the culture of a country. Like, every country has different martial arts. Like, you talk about Japan, you have judo. I'm headed to Thailand on Sunday, Muay Thai. You talk about, like, in Russia, you got like Sambo style wrestling. You talk about Brazil, you talk about Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You talk about Argentina or Mexico, you got Mexican style boxing. You got Cuban style boxing. Like, every country has a different martial art. And the way I feel, this is for me, I'm like, I don't speak all the languages on the planet, but there's one language that everybody knows. It's fighting. Yeah. Everybody knows fighting. Yeah. So, like, because I study mixed martial arts, it's mixed. All the different martial arts I train, I have an opportunity to go learn about that culture, not just learning more about martial arts, but learning more about the history. And food is directly connected to culture, because wherever you're at, whatever the land produces is what the main part of your cuisine would be. So in islands, there's a lot of, like, fruits and, like, real, like, popping flavors because of the spices. Then you go to another country who doesn't have that, but they might elevate a different part of, maybe they have cattle in their country. Like, you go to Argentina, it's like steak everywhere. It's like the cattle part of the South America. It's like, okay, well, if I go to this place, it'll have something else. So it lets you learn about not just the culture, but the culture and the people and, like, the history too. So it's kind of like a connection, like martial arts and food, and I love them both. So I'm like, I told you, I'm a fat kid already, so I didn't expose myself.
No shame in that at all. Like, martial arts and the food definitely will expose or bring you closer to a culture, and that's the best part about either one, really. Like, if you eat and enjoy traveling, you get to travel as a fighter. That is, bro, you really living the life, man. Like, hold on, we might need to switch places. You said that you, like, how competitive you are. Yeah. Where does that come from? Where did that start for you?
Maybe because we talked a little bit earlier, I'm one of 8. Grew up with a lot of siblings, a lot of cousins. I grew up in a very community-based, like, raising, where, like, when you grow up in a community, I don't care, like, how fortunate or unfortunate your circumstances are. So, like, we grew up poor, but, like, growing up poor makes you creative. Like, you ain't got a dustpan, you use some cardboard, right? Like, fold up some cardboard. Like, hey, you don't eat, a cinnamon bun. You take a piece of toast, you throw some butter on there, throw some sugar on there, some cinnamon, you pop it in the oven, you got cinnamon toast, right? So it's like people could look at it as like a bad set of circumstances. I never looked at it like that, because I always grew up having everything that we needed, which was family, food, and regardless of if the roof that was over our head was like a good one or a bad one, it was like you have that. And, like, I think just that competitive nature is just growing up around a bunch of siblings, growing up on the block, competing every single day. And like, the name of the podcast is called The Fire Never Dies. I feel like the second you're born, you have a fire. There's a little light in you. And, like, emotional kids are the ones to realize that fire right away. Thanks. Right? And we always get taught, like, control your emotions by adults who don't know how to control their emotions. Hey, sit still. Like, you don't sit still. You're trying to tell somebody else how to do it. And, like, I was extremely emotional. I'm still an emotional person, but I have control over it. And, like, I always tell people emotions just mean energy and motion. So, like, when kids are lashing out or doing this, or they have a bad temper, or they're like sensitive, or they cry a lot, or those are just emotions. Show them how to use that energy and harness it. I was the temper kid. Like, you did something I didn't like, And like as soon as like it got physical, I would lose my shit. I would lose my shit because I was like, I felt like I was fighting like for my life. That was like, it was the instinct we have, the fight or flight. And like I just learned to kind of harness that fire or that flame over the course of time. And focus it. I always say, like, if you like make a bonfire, you put a bunch of wood on it, like the heat goes everywhere. It can get hot, but if I start putting bricks around that fire, I can turn that fire from 400 degrees to 1,000 degrees, and then that's how you forge metal. You know, you cap it, and you have the heat coming out one way, and you feed it the other, and then you can put your steel in there and that. And that's what I think about that internal flame over the years. That I like, it was growing, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I did a lot of different things. And then I learned to like hone it, and that competitiveness is a part of that flame. I think competitiveness gets a bad rap. People are like, oh my God, you're so competitive. I'm like, competitiveness for me is directly tied to your instinct to live, survive, and reproduce. Yeah. Because the one at the animal at the top of the pyramid is gonna have the most success. They're gonna have the most things in nature. Those things are food, family, wife, kids. That's what that has. The animal that gets the leftover, the scraps, like, you don't survive very long. You can't survive very long on scraps. If you do, then you're probably like a vulture or like, a parasite. So like for me, I think competitive nature is directly tied to human nature. And with the modern day society, everybody tries to like, it's not good to be emotional. It's not, you got to be competitive all the time. Damn right, I got to be competitive all the time. I'm trying to put food on the family for my table. I'm trying to put a house over my head. I'm trying to do this. And my competitive nature is what gives me the edge. So don't let my competitive nature make you feel insecure because you don't have the confidence type deal. So that's kind of like a full story on.
No, I'm with you on that one. I feel all of that. Competitiveness is necessary. Like, it's in the arena. Like, if you start anything and don't at least aim to, or have the thought or aspiration to lead the pack in some type of way, don't come out here. Don't come out here. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt. So like I've been competitive my entire life as well. I don't know where it started. Maybe I don't know, because I was the only child, so it's kind of like I didn't have to compete for attention or love, but it's like, I can remember times and situations where I can see where I felt like I probably had to. That's probably where it came from. This man got me going to deep therapy over there, man.
I still remember the first time I was so competitive, but it was for myself. Because I journal, so I write.
Okay, how was that? Tell me about that.
All right, so I was going through a hard time in my life, right? And I wanted to know what makes Moon happy. That doesn't include another person. That was the big thing for me, because a lot of times we let our happiness be revolved around family or significant others. I had a lot of stuff going on in my like everyday life that was crazy already, and then I got a long-term relationship. So a lot heartbroken and shit. But I didn't look at it like a woe is me. What I did was I internalized it, and I said, okay, Moon, what is it that literally makes you happy that doesn't include another person, even your family? Because you can't rely on your family for happiness. You have to rely on yourself. And like, happiness is a very like blank statement. I was just trying to say, like, what do you enjoy and what gives you joy and feels value? Right. And then so I was sitting there for a long time, and I couldn't like put my finger on it, because I was trying to sound smart to myself. And then I was like, bro, shut up. You're talking to yourself. And I was like, what do you enjoy? And I was like, I really enjoy coffee. I wrote the first thing, and then I was like, I enjoy reading. Boom. And I was like, well, why do I enjoy coffee and reading? And I was like, well, I enjoy movies a lot. Why? Because they tell a story. And I'm like, and I think that's the greatest gift on the planet, is the ability to tell a story. And I was like, okay, what else do you like? And I was like, well, I love the train. And I started finding all these things that I loved that literally required no one else. This was all my own doing. So I put all that stuff together, and then I was like, man, I was just trying to go back in my head on why, because I was asking myself, why do I like these or love these things? And then I was like, why do I like training and competing so much? And then I tried to think back, what was the earliest time I proved myself right, not somebody else wrong. I might have been like 8 or 9 years old, and we had we were doing like a health class, like in middle school or whatever. I don't know, 9, 10. I don't remember the age, but around that age. And I remember one of the questions was like something about, we was learning about heart rate and like how it is to be healthy and do cardiorespiratory stuff. And it was like, could you run for 1,000 seconds? Every kid in the class marked yes. So for that, the next class, the teacher took us all out to the playground where they had the basketball courts, and it was like, look, I don't think y'all know how long 1,000 seconds is. Everybody marked it yes. Yeah. And she was like, you'll only get it right if you can run for the 1,000 seconds.
Yeah.
Kids is hyped. Like, are we going to run for class until you get about 5 minutes in and you realize 1,000 seconds, like 20 minutes. It's like, yo, you out there running all like in the sun. It was outside just going. And I remember kids start dropping like flies. And they never said run 1,000 seconds fast. They just said run 1,000 seconds. And I just remember I didn't want to get this question wrong. So I was just going to run until I got the question right. And I just remember just running around the court, being the last fucking kid, the only one running. But I was like, the difference between getting this right and getting this wrong is literally just doing the work. And so for me, I was like, I had the ability to change the outcome. And for me, that's the youngest memory I could think about where it was like proving to myself, not to somebody else. I did a lot of shit before that where it was like, somebody say you can't do this. Well, fuck it, I'll do it. But like, that was the only time I was like, I could like remember that time had an impact on me because I've never forgot it. And I was just like, man. And then I kind of linked that to other times in my life, like other times where I was like not proving other people wrong, but proving myself right. And like, I'm like, I think that's when I knew something was there, but you know, just over the years, I continued to hone what was there. But that's the furthest that I could think back.
Journaling myself. I want to, but I just...
Nah, you don't want to.
I'm a lazy writer, man. I don't want to. I can like, now if I was to like, I could do videos. I would have no issues being like, yep, today is whatever the date is, and today I'm doing an interview, and I had a great time.
All right, you like people being real, or people being fake?
Real, man.
All right, you want to, but you don't really want to.
No,
you don't want to enough to do it. All right, so is that an excuse?
Possibly. It's the truth.
It's the truth, right? So it's the truth. I got.
Do you ever? I know you're going somewhere, but
no, I got you.
Cause this has always been a battle for me. When people be like, I'll be like out here, don't use an excuse, and then like somebody else will be like, but that's the truth, and I'll be like, dang, like isn't it an excuse? What's the difference? Is it true? Because sometimes it's right. Like the truth, it's so crazy to me.
No, it's only these are complex things we tell ourselves to make our excuses seem palatable.
Okay.
You got two things. You got reasons and results. So everything that's not a reason, everything that's not a result is a reason.
Okay.
I had back surgery twice. I had a car accident twice. I've had doctors tell me you're not going to walk straight. You're not going to do this. Cool. Those are good reasons to not be a professional athlete, right? Those are valid reasons. Yeah. 2 car accidents, almost no disc in the lower part of my spine. Feeling pain every day for fucking the majority of my early 20s. When I sit, when I stand, when I walk, when I work out, everything I did, I felt pain. That's a very valid excuse.
Yes. Yes, it is.
But I didn't want to live that life. So that was one of the first times that I was like, man, fuck the doctors. I'm going to prove them wrong. And I remember when it stopped being about them, it started being about me. But I said, I know I'm going to be better. I know I'm going to be 100%. They're telling me I'm not. But I know I'm going to be. And that was my first amateur fight ever. That's what that meant for me because it was 2016. I was 2-0. I was fighting another guy who was undefeated as well. And I had a chance at an amateur title. And that year, I got certified as a personal trainer. When just for years prior, that like I couldn't even walk straight. I ain't know shit about the human body. But I learned and I helped rehab myself back into not just decent shape, to be an athlete. And then to be a fighter. And then I remember fighting for that belt. I broke my hand in the first or second round. It went 3 rounds. I dropped the dude in the first round. He dropped me in the second round. Third round, it was basically you don't take it. My coach literally told me, you don't take a step back this round. You walk this guy down. You don't take a step back. If he wants to fight you, it's 1-1 now. last round.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
So you don't take a step back. And like, I remember when I won, I just like, I screamed so loud and like, I just got this rush of emotions. And for me, I just realized like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be doing this because against all odds, I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was against their odds. I always believed I could. So it was like proving myself right. And like, you only have reasons or results. Like, no one said you got to write a book. When you get up in the morning, you could literally just write one sentence. What is the first thought that came on your mind? Damn, I got to do more of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day,
So
you write one or two.
Back on track, man. I gotta get it right. I got journals. I take notes on stuff I like watch or whatever. Like, I don't mind doing that. Like if I'm like watching a lecture or whatever, I don't mind like if it's schoolwork or something. Yeah. But like maybe I'm scared of myself.
You are.
Maybe I'm scared. Have you always been this self-aware?
No. That's not how it works.
I like it.
It's not. It's a lie if I said I was. And like the thing, in order to get self-aware, you have to confront yourself. And that's the scariest person in the world. Because like you said, when I'm listening to a lecture, you're engaged with something else. You're engaged with someone else. And you're like, man, this is good. This is good. But when it comes to like, oh man, I'm going to do this for me or do this for that, that's the hardest thing in the world. Yeah. Because like at the end of the day, like it's always about confronting yourself. And the beautiful thing about fighting is it forces you to confront yourself all the time. Yes. And I tell people, I feel so much self-aware at the age of 31 than most people who are probably in their 60s or 70s, just because they've never confronted themselves. We go through life on other people's terms. Most people they think for themselves, but they don't. You wake up from the day you're born. So my dad used to say this thing to me, and I never understood it until I got older. He'd be like, think of nothing. And I'd be like, he's like, you can't. I was like, what do you mean I can't think of nothing? Because from the second that you're born in this world, you're intaking information. There's not one time where you haven't been affected by an internal or external, something internal or external, like, can't think of the word. Can't think of the word, but like there's always an internal, external presence, right? Once you're old enough, before you can talk, everything you need is from your parents. Yeah. So your parents are kind of molding you. Yeah. Then you start to learn how to talk, and it's go to school, and then you're in school for 12 years of your life, and they tell you to go to college, and they tell you to get a job, and you think this is the right way because they told you it's the right way. But there's always this thing inside you, that fire you're talking about. You're like, man, something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't. When have you thought for yourself? One of my really good friends, her cousin was going to the military at a young age, like, out of high school. He was like 18 or 19. And I remember telling him, I was like, bro, you've never thought for yourself. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you wake up, you do this, you do that, you do that. When's the last time you actually confronted yourself and thought, what do you want to do? Or what are you doing that aligns with what you want to do? Right. And that is a scary feeling, because what if all the things you were told your whole entire life was a lie? Man. Yes. Then you have to confront that. What is your truth? Because my lie might be your truth. It's a matter of perspective. Yeah. Yeah. This globe, this world thing, this ball of life that we own. It's real interesting, man. I like that stuff. I'm really glad that it's not like, well, in my experience, that I was able to. I caught like through the actions of like pressing my own t-shirts or coaching a team or just being fed up with putting on a uniform. That's how I kind of came into the point of like, what do I want to do stuff that makes me happy. Yeah. Per se. So yeah, like at that time, family, dog, let's go win ball games. That's all I needed, man. Just don't bother me if I'm not in my office. Don't call my phone. I'll be back unless it's a dire emergency. But outside of that, yeah, man, life was good. But now it's like a lot simpler. I spend a lot more time reading all that good stuff. I'm definitely you gonna make me journal, man. I'm a journal. I'm not gonna make you journal. You gonna make you journal. I'm going to journal. I'm going to post the pen, the ink, and the paper. Yes. I want to give a shout out to what I call my journal collectors out there. Yeah. Journal collectors are people out there who buy journals with the intent to write and don't end up writing. And you know who I'm talking about. Pearl?
I'm with you, but not for long. Not for long. Man, we got like 3 minutes before this one wrapped up. Let's see. I don't even know what else I want to ask you, bro.
Bro, I'm free game. It doesn't have to even be fight related.
I see, like, bro, because we don't win literally all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Here's what I want to ask you. Dang, it's probably gonna be a long answer though.
All right, you good?
Let's run it. We on 3 minutes. Tell me about the one loss.
One loss. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped this year. I consciously stopped using the word deserve. I don't like it because deserve has a sense of entitlement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did this, so I should get that.
Mm-hmm.
No. Like, do good people only deserve good things to happen to them?
No.
Right? Because we go in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If good people only deserve good things to happen to them, then that means bad people only deserve bad things to happen to them.
Yeah.
Then the world will be a better place, right?
That's what they say.
So, like, when good people like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. It's like, yeah, but if you want to be better, you got to overcome this. Like, you will be better if you overcome this. And so I started using the word earned, because everything in our life we earn. We're in a bad situation. The only thing you can't control is from the day you're born is like who your parents are and where you're born at.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start to catch your footing in life, there are a lot of things that are in your control that you're told are not in your control, but they really are. It's because you don't have control over your own mind. And like, that's the hardest thing to gain control over.
Facts.
And like, we get so wrapped up with trying to control other people that we often lose control of ourselves.
Yeah.
And with that loss, there were a lot of things in my life that I could control, but I wasn't controlling. Mm-hmm. And it created a bad set of circumstances for me. And you can either be, you can blame the circumstances for your demise, or you can blame them for your, ascendance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that loss ascended me. I earned that loss. I tell people, my team is telling me I deserve to win, just like his team telling me he deserves to win. So depending on who wins, was the other team wrong or not? Right. So deserve is an entitlement. Mm-hmm. I fucking hate entitled people. Maybe not say hate, but like, I really
it makes you itch.
It makes me like, entitled and conceited. Oof,
yeah.
Something about those I just can't. If you're entitled and conceited, just don't come around me. You won't like me.
Yeah.
But I earned that loss. I was probably one fight away from making some noise at getting signed to like a UFC Contender Series or a short notice. I was the main event in Georgia in front of 150 of my family and friends.
Nice.
And I lost in a minute in front of all of them. Mm-hmm. So they got to see me lose. And so I earned that loss. And the beautiful thing about that is the rebound effect, because life was already fucking kicking my ass. And I was like, you would think that loss would have hurt so much more, but I was so numb to all the other shit that was going on that loss didn't even feel like shit. I just hated losing without feeling like I fought. For me, it was the rebound effect. I had so much other shit going on in my life. I felt like if you break your leg, right, it hurts so much, and somebody pinch you, that you don't feel that pinch. Yeah. I got a broken leg. That pinch ain't nothing, right? Yeah. I had so much other stuff going on mentally that loss was like throwing a stone at a mountain. I was like, bitch, I'm already dealing with a mountain. Yeah. This is a stone. Did it suck to lose because of my competitive nature? Yes. I earned that though. Same way I fought 14 fights. I had lost once. I earned 13 victories. I earned one loss. And then the rebound effect was tremendous because it forced me to confront myself. There were a lot of things going on in my life that I had control over that I was telling myself I didn't. And then after that loss, I had to reassess things. I had to do things differently for the next 2 or 3 months than I was normally used to doing it. The problem is when you're used to solving a problem one way and it works for you all the time, when it doesn't work that one way, people quit or they like, oh man, it doesn't work anymore. Yeah. And I tell my martial arts students all the time, it works, you don't. The technique I'm showing you works. It's not working for you because you're not working it properly. So I had to take my own advice. So I had to face myself like, hey, there's some outside factors going on in your life that you need to take control of that will make your whole life better, training better, as well as this comeback better. Mm-hmm. And that my comeback had nothing to do with anybody else. That comeback was for me. Mm-hmm. And it was like after I got styled on in front of my hometown and in front of all my people on the biggest stage of my career, I went out on the next fight and got a first round knockout in 52 seconds and was like...
And that was your most recent fight?
Yeah, my most recent one. And I was like, wait till they see what's next, because I still didn't even get to show all the shit that I rebounded for. You did that
in front of some eyes that you want to be in front of. Yeah. I was checking out your page. I saw Rampage on there.
Oh, man. Rampage, Frank Mir, Tito Ortiz, Harrison Rogers, Sophia, like F3 Sports, fucking American Made MMA, like all of them.
What was the feeling from... Because I'm pretty sure we all know how loss feels.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go there to come here. What was the feeling when you saw him go down and the ref was like...
you know what's funny? So my little brother just asked me that same question. Mm-hmm. He was like, man, what's the feeling like when you knock somebody out? I was like, well, like after the fight or like going? He says, no, when you hit him and he hits the ground, what's going through your head? I was like, I hit him with a long range 3 and I came with the 2 right down the pipe. So I was like, bang, bang. And he was knocked out going down. Mm-hmm. And I thought the ref was going to stop it right then and there. But when he hit the ground, boom, his head snapped. So he woke back up. Mm-hmm. And I saw the ref coming in, but then like paused. And I said, what literally is going through my head was like, I knew he was done. Now I just got to go finish him again. Mm-hmm. And like, it sounds heartless, but like,
we're warriors, man.
It's done. Like, I got to go finish him.
How we talk.
And then so I knocked him out again. And then the ref pushed me off and I just walked away. And I was like, I go through this weird dynamic prior to a fight. I put myself through this whole pre-fight routine on like feeling everything and then feeling nothing at all. And you see me like I'm dancing on my way to the cage. I'm just enjoying everything, the lights, the energy, the moment. I'm there. And then as soon as the cage door goes clink, if you ever kind of catch a glimpse of my face before the fight starts, it's almost emotionless. Mm-hmm. I go from feeling everything to like nothing. And I want to straddle that. I want to be able to use whatever I need. Mm-hmm. So it's like the perfect balance of feeling it all the emotions, and then detaching and feeling nothing. So when I'm fighting that other person, I can go to those places if I have to be extremely violent, that I don't have any regard in that moment for like when I hit you, like it's just what I got to do. Mm-hmm. Like,
have you ever struggled with that, turning it off to not care so much when you punching somebody else?
No.
I know a few people that like they've said like I don't want to hurt anybody, but I mean maybe not in competition but
in
maybe
training. In training all the time.
Yeah.
In training all the time.
Yeah, because competition, we know, like, it's go time. Like, we are, yeah.
Bro, this dude's trying to disconnect me from my consciousness in front of my family, bro. On TV, in front of thousands and thousands of people, bro.
Yeah.
You got to go. In the training room is different because, like, your progression is reliant on the people you train with. Mm-hmm. I can hit a bag forever. It ain't going to make me good. Yeah. It make me good at hitting a bag. Bag don't hit back. So, like, you have to, and that was part of one of the things that I was in my control that I trained is how hard I trained. Mm-hmm. Because I always trained hard, so I got good results. But I was doing a lot of overtraining, training way too much, and I was breaking my body down and my brain because, like, when the body can't recover fully, you start getting injured. And then if you get injured, it makes it harder to train. So it's just like revolving loop. So I still trained the same amount of time. I just reduced the volume and reduced how I trained. Mm-hmm. And I felt better than I've ever felt mentally and physically going into a fight, and emotionally, because I knew I was in control of the outcome. And I started doing things differently. And not big. Like, say I was going to do something for 3 rounds or 5 rounds, because you have a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight. Mm-hmm. I would stop doing it at 4 rounds or 6 rounds because I knew I was in control. And I didn't let that the bad side of me say, hey, man, if you don't do this for 5 rounds, then you're going to lose the fight. Because those are the kind of conversations we have. Oh, if you don't go one more, you're going to lose. And then so that's like the good and the bad, right? I'm battling myself. It's me confronting myself. So there are a lot of times where I said I was going to do something and I never gave myself an allotted amount of time, but all competition is either 3 or 5. And I was like, at round 4, I would cut it off because I knew it would make me feel some kind of way. And then I would have to deal with that feeling. So I forced myself to deal with myself because I created these patterns over years. And I had to find new ways to do things. In order to do that, I had to confront myself. So I found small ways to do it, and then eventually became bigger. And like, I was like, I'm in control of this. Warm up, I'm done. Boom. 7 rounds, I'm done. Because we normally stop at 5, 8, 10. It's like, no, I'm done. Because I knew it'd be like, well, why didn't you do this? Well, so that little voice that's speaking in my head, I'm like, shut up. I'm in control.
Yeah, that when you leave in the gym and you know you got a good workout, you did the work that you intended to do.
Yeah.
But that little voice in the back of your head is like, hey, you ain't do shit, motherfucker.
Yeah. But that's what pushes you to be great. But sometimes it can be to your demise. Because I still did extra work, but the extra work that I needed to do, I was avoiding. Because I didn't want to confront myself. I said, I'm just going to keep training hard. When I'm like, all this hard training, you're not recovering properly.
Yeah, that's major.
How about your next session be a recovery session? It's still going to benefit your training, and then you can go hard again tomorrow.
Right. So
I started treating recovery like a training session.
Exactly.
Hey, this is my new enemy, is my mobility, my stiffness, my torn LCL, my AC joint, my my whatever, my elbow, or it's like whatever was hurting or injured. I'm like, hey, I'm dealing with this like a fight.
Yeah.
And then like my perspectives like just switched on stuff because I've had sleeping problems for years. So then when I finally started taking ice baths and all of this stuff, and my sleep got better, I was like, I'm really recovering. Like I feel great. So now that I'm sleeping better and I'm doing these ice baths and I'm trying to get massages and I'm stretching and I'm doing these, I started treating these things that I would do just enough of to get by to now prioritizing it. And then my training got better. And then my mindset and training got better. Like you said, having that care for your teammate or for the person you're training with to like, you can go and I know I could be fucking this dude up, but like, no, why don't you work on something else and not like this?
Yeah.
Like when you got the killers, y'all can go at it. And I had the days, hey, I marked this day off and this day off. I knew, hey, these 2 days, this is the fight team days. We going at it.
You gotta be
so
ready
in between, got to be recovery and skill-based training. So I just shifted some things that were in my control that I was already doing. I just shifted my perspective and how I did things. And it made the rebound effect amazing. And I literally wrote it in my journal. It was like, I found my formula for my current state. Because we always think whatever state we're in, that's going to be what it's going to be like forever. That's not how it's going to be. The only thing that's guaranteed in life is death and changing. Taxes too, but like, shit's going to change. Right. So the shit that I was doing when I was 24, 25, 26, 27, that wasn't the same formula for 28, 29, 30. And that 28, 29, 30 isn't the same formula for my current 31. So now I found a new formula, and in 4 or 5 years, if it changed, I got to change it. Yeah. But I shifted some things that were in my control, and it just benefited me, and I was the best I ever felt in there, and I'm ready to level up again.
Yeah, preparation is everything, man. That's one thing. So what I've been harping on myself. I even tried to prepare for this a little bit better. I actually went through your page and looked at some stuff. So preparation on any level of any scenario is there. Even barbers, we're in the barber shop. They have to have their stuff ready to go before somebody walks in. Fighters have to have everything worked out and ready to go before they step into the ring or the cage. That's major. What is your favorite thing to do after a camp and fight?
Like after a fight night?
Like after fight night. Other than just chilling with the fam and stuff. What is what is the go-to meal, video game?
Oh.
What do you really...
Number one, it got to have some cheesecake and ice cream. Not one or the other. I need a slice of cheesecake with ice cream.
Just regular original joint?
I like turtle cheesecake. I like like regular cheesecake.
Mhm.
I like some of the fancy stuff, but I don't like to go too crazy because then you like lose the whole cheesecake in it. But the spot here, Decadent, the dessert shop next to Kendi, the Thai restaurant. It's on 96.
It's off of 96.
Yes, Decadent. They already
Across
know.
from Rigby's, matter of fact.
Yeah, they already know. So they know I fight.
Mhm.
So like after a fight, I come in, I order a whole cheesecake.
Wow.
I'm like, hey, I don't want a slice and whatever, depending on what they got. Like they did I love banana pudding.
Yeah.
They did a banana pudding cheesecake.
Okay, I would go for that.
And I was like, y'all did a what? She's like, yeah, we did one last week. I was like, well, you ain't gotta worry about me asking when the next time you're gonna do one, because I'm just gonna buy a whole cheesecake.
Yeah.
So after my fight, I bought the whole cheesecake, put it in my fridge, and every day for a week I had a slice of cheesecake. Yeet, banana pudding cheesecake. Like, yep.
I didn't know that was a thing.
But neither did I until I went there, bro.
It sounds good. It sounds so good. And I don't even eat cheesecake unless it's Oreo.
Yeah, well, they do Oreo cheesecake. They do everything.
I'll see y'all.
Decadent, shout out. But
sponsorship. I'll put a cake right here. We'll just eat cake the whole joint. Not even playing.
Yeah, so like because I'm pretty disciplined when it comes to like my diet and nutrition and training, I reward myself with food, and like I go back to those things that make me happy that don't include like my family. Obviously, like you said, obviously I want to hang out with my family and shit like that, so I do that. But like I'll take myself out to the movies. Like I'm gonna tell people like I love company. I'm a very social person, but the whole confronting yourself. You know how when you, as a man, you'll know if you're doing some of the right things you want in your life? When you're alone for an extended period of time, do you like your own company? Or are you battling your own thoughts? Oh, I'm not doing enough in life. I need to be doing this. Or, bro, you over here playing the game when you should be doing this. Or if you have those thoughts, confront them and do something about them. Like every man, every person feels doubt. And you got to outwork your doubt. That's the only time you'll feel at peace. And that peace is, for me, wake up in the morning, I do my little ice bath, I can read my little book, write in my little journal, drink my cup of coffee in the backyard without a care in the world. Like that's my me time. I got to do that at least 4 or 5 days a week to make sure my mental health is like staying where it needs to be. Like, because what I do is insanity, like, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, for me, I go back on that list. I'm going to take myself out to movies, I'm going to eat something. And then I tell people, I love training, martial arts. I don't like training for fights. I don't. I know, it sounds crazy. Like I'm in a different mindset going into competition than I am when I'm just training. Yeah. So like my coaches kind of banned me from the gym for a week after the fights because they know I want to get right back to it. They're like, hey, you can't come to the gym. And then I miss it. I'm like, but I want to go work out. I want to train. I don't care if it's win, loss, like whatever. It's like, I'm just like, shit, I want to get back in there. It's like, yo, no, pump the brakes, bro. Yeah. Go be a fucking civilian. Like, do some regular shit. So for a whole week, I'm just like, well, when am I going to go back to training? Because now I'm not in competition mode. Like, I have to beat my training partner. Yeah. I have to land this specific technique because this is a part of my game plan. Now I'm just like, I could try all the stuff that I just want to try. I want to try new things. I want to do this. I'm laughing. And I still have a good time when I'm training for a fight, but I'm so much more like getting that switch turned to like, I'm about to do somebody harm. They about to do me harm. Like, I'm ready. Like, I'm in a different mindset. It's a kill or be killed mindset. And like, everything changes in my everyday life. Like, I start getting more zoned in and focused and focused and focused. And then after the fight, I can like breathe. But then I go back to those things. And I like coffee, I like reading, I like training, I like movies, I like traveling. So I say, okay, well, shit, let me go to another place that has a gym because now I'm going to be learning something different or maybe the same, just taught a different way. I want to go see what their local coffee spot look like. I want to go see what the food scene look like. I'm going to take myself out for some entertainment. And I call those traincations. I don't go on vacation. I'm like, yo, I ain't going nowhere where I can't train. Yeah. Hence me going to Thailand for a month. People are like, oh my God, you're gonna be doing X, Y, and Z and zip lining and this. I said, I'm about to go do Muay Thai twice a day. Facts. Every day. In Thailand. Thailand. Like they're like, oh. I'm like, yeah, that's my vacation.
People don't man, listen. I'm glad you brought up to Thailand because I was gonna get there, but we'll go there now. Yeah. People don't get that, man. Like, listen, work is the fun. It's like I don't know what it is, but it's something about, even though I don't like the post end part of it, I ain't even gonna lie, like the editing, it's just because I'm the only one doing it.
Yeah.
But once I have a team and I can like start being, hey, let's do this. Right now it's just me, so it's kind of like, you gotta do that. I don't want to do that. But it's like, this is what I find fun. This is the fun. Like going back, looking at the film, saying like, damn, my interviews actually suck. Like I'm proud of myself. Like this is. I hope you guys are enjoying. This is a lot better,
bro. You know how many times I look back on like old training footage? I'm like, I was trash. How was I winning?
But that process is more fun than
I love it.
The zip lining. Like zip lining is fun, but it's just fun for that moment. I still got to get back to this thing. I got to get back to this flame. And yes, bro, you get it. So where we at? 10. I'm so good at this. Thailand.
Yes.
He's on the way. What's the plan? How long you gonna be there? What we going for? Can I sneak in the bag?
I'm going to Phuket. And I'll be in Thailand training Muay Thai. Everybody's like, oh my God, you're gonna go train MMA in Thailand? I said, no. My coach is a 20-time UFC vet. My head coach, Lathan Lawson, is the MMA guy. We have the 20-time UFC vet and Cole Miller, and then we got Bubby Mitchell, the guru. I'm like, we got MMA in the States. Mm-hmm. I'm going to Thailand to train Muay Thai from the motherland, where it's from, where it originated, how they fought wars before it was guns. And like, I'm going to study the art, embrace myself in the culture, and embrace that uncomfortableness. I don't speak the language. I'm not from there. I don't know what anything looks like there. I'm going to train and I'm going to learn about Muay Thai and the culture and the people from the Thais. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm going to be there for a month, just fully immersed. And I think it's going to just help me level up, because anytime I've been in uncomfortable situations, what I get on the outside is a level up, a new perspective of life, of living. It's also my first time ever going international. I've been on a cruise, but that's not, I don't want to count that.
I'm talking about on a cruise, but
I'm talking about leaving the country. Like, it's over a 24-hour flight. I got to fly into Qatar and then fly into Phuket. So I'm like, this for me is going to be an experience. And one thing that I pay for is experiences. And the thing that's even more special about this is the only thing that was stopping me from going to Thailand before is the fact that I didn't have the funds. And the reason why I'm going now is because I raised the money. So I'm going because of all the people that love and support me. Like, to think about that. I'm a dream of mine. And my dream never required me to not work. I don't know when people say, oh, I'm going to retire on a beach doing this. I'm like, that shit sound depressing, bro. Like, I'm going to work to the day that I die.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
I don't mean I'm going to work a 9 to 5 to the day that I die. I want to work something that's going to be fulfilling to my heart, as well as compensate me handsomely to do the things that I want to do in life. And I'm able to go over there based off of the relationship and the connections that I have built over the years of fighting. I got like close to 50 donations to hit my mark in order for me to go to Thailand. Beautiful. And I'm like, that's money that people never had to give me. So for me to
see you,
they want to see me succeed.
Yeah.
How can I fail?
Yeah.
But people, and failure is not losing. That's what people get fucked up. Like, failure is not taking the opportunity. Failure is going over there and trying to be comfortable. Like, no, I'm going over there to immerse myself in something that's greater than me so I can come back. And I told my students, yeah, I'm excited about what I can show in a cage, but I'm more excited on what I can give to y'all. Yeah. Because I teach Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I've been training Muay Thai for over 7 years. Yeah. So I'm like, now I get to learn from the heart. And then I get to come back and give it to y'all. And then what I learn, I'm gonna put on display for thousands to see.
Yes.
So like, that's that whole trip. Every day I've been getting really emotional. I told Lathan, I said, man, I feel like I'm preparing for a fight camp, because I get really emotional during fight camp. And emotional doesn't have nothing to do with like crying or this. I'm like, I can feel things. I feel happiness and sadness and anger and doubt and fear and anxiety and excitement. These are the same things I feel before I go through a fight, and I start filing. I go like filing my emotions. Okay, this is what's happening. This was happening. Deal with this, and deal with this when you do your morning workout. And I'm going through it, and I said, bro, I think it's because I know I'm gonna be uncomfortable. I'm so excited about like, I can't even speak the language. Imagine how uncomfortable I'm gonna be. Man. But like most people get like I feel like
that's an experience, bro.
Yeah, I'm just like
it's
excited,
real culture shock, bro. You sound like me my first time about to fly to another country, and
that's what I love about the military. Is like you from Warner Robins. What other opportunities at that age or point in your life do you have to go to another country?
None, man.
Exactly.
Not around here.
Not around here.
And then like the way that you're doing it, like going to the military, but the way that you're doing it, bro, like that's fucking like goddamn. You know what I'm saying? All of that, bro, because that's beautiful, man. Like not too many people get to do that. One more question. Oh, 6, bro. Let's do it. Not even one more. I might have 2 more.
All right.
How do you define success? Like, go a little bit deeper into what you were just saying. Like, you define failure, but how do you actually define success? I just want to hear your thoughts on that.
I actually think failure defines success because people think failure is this way and success is this way. Mm-hmm. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Failure is on your way to success. And people avoid failure so bad that they don't realize because they're avoiding failure, they're also avoiding success. Mm-hmm. Because failure is the only way you will get to success. Now, success is a very like an open-ended, like just thing. Everybody's success is different. Yeah. For a person who doesn't desire much, their success can be having a family with kids and a loving wife and a this. Mm-hmm. And then somebody could say, I want to be the top 1%. I want to be the next Amazon. Their success is something different. Somebody say, success for me is making 6 figures because I grew up in the hood and this, that, and the third. Somebody's success might be, hey, I want to be famous, or I want to be an artist. And somebody else's success might be, hey, I just want to graduate from college. Like the beautiful thing about success is you determine what area you want to be successful in. Mm-hmm. And then there's a step ladder to get there. Right. But oftentimes we avoid the biggest challenges because we don't want to fail, mm-hmm. but that's literally the way to succeed. Right. And so for me, I've said this all my amateur career because I got so much like notoriety or what people call clout. And like, oh my God, Moon, you're so good, you're so this or that. And I'll be like, it's my team. Mm-hmm. It's my coaches. It's my family. I'm just an extension of the energy that they put into me. Mm-hmm. Yes, the part of me to decide to show up, to go the extra mile, to conduct myself as a professional athlete, all this stuff, yes, that is me. But in order, what y'all seeing here at the top of the pyramid is a way bigger base. Yeah. So you're saying, Moon, you're successful. And I'm like, look at the success that's not behind me, the success that's pushing me and pulling me up to greater heights. Yeah. So when I fall down, they like, hey, lifting me up. You know, they're pushing me ahead. I think I can't go anymore. You can go a little bit further. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it does take you to do that. You have to, like, at the end of the day, make the decision. Yeah. But I've always said it's my team, my family. I'm an extension of them. And I lost so much. And this shows how narrow-minded the media and the public see things, and they just take a story and they just run with it. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my God, you're undefeated as an amateur, 7-0. I mean, 8-0, 3 titles, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my God, like you never lose. And I look at them like, bitch, I lose in training camp every day. My teammates are washing me, bro. I'm like, y'all don't see my teammates in there beating me up for 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 weeks. Yeah. I just gotta win one night. But because I failed so much in training camp, mm-hmm. allowed me to win when it counted the most. And that's what we do. They think I'm winning all through training camp, mm-hmm. so this win is just easy. Mm-hmm. No.
That would be deserving. But failing to get it.
Yeah, I earned it. Exactly.
Well, we in this thing.
We did right there.
Hey, listen, how much time we got? 2 minutes. Perfect.
Boom. 2-minute warning. Let's go.
Boom. You have a brand. It is called Lunar Unlimited. You are wearing a tee.
Yes.
Put it down for the people. Booyah, booyah. Tell us about the brand.
Lunar Unlimited, I always knew I wanted to own my own business. And I didn't know in what shape or form that would come. Mm-hmm. But my nickname is Moon, and I wanted to be something moon related because, like, for me, the moon is considered like a lifeless rock. Like, it's just this rock floating in outer space. And everybody, like, the sun provides light, but the moon provides light and darkness.
Mm-hmm.
All it does is reflect the light from the sun, and it gives you the ability to see at night.
Yeah.
All right. And in its relationship to the earth, actually helps control the tides and the waves. So even though it's considered this lifeless dead rock, it connects so much of life. And I really started resonating with that. And I felt like my purpose in life was to shine light, you know, in people's dark times. So I resonated with that. And me and my sister were thinking like, well, what would your business name if I want to be something like moon related? And I was like, Lunar this, Moon that. She was like, what about Lunar Unlimited? And me being the younger sibling, I was like, nah, I don't like that. And then I sat on it and I was like, she was like, because you do so many things. Like, you do business consulting and you do personal training, you do nutrition, and you do motivational speaking, and you do mentorship programs, and I was like, fuck, I do a lot. She was like, let's not put a limit on what it is you do. And I was like, Lunar Unlimited, it is.
She got you.
I was like, you got me right. Shout out to my sis, Haj, baby D.
You're good. You're good.
So the name, actually, my sister came up with the name, and then I just started thinking of all like the trials and tribulations and stuff that I've overcame.
Yeah.
And I've always felt good when I made other people feel wrong, but I felt great when I proved myself right.
Mm-hmm.
And it always came by going through some sort of suffering, pain, and overcoming something. So for me, I was like, that's it. I was like, my brand will be, hey, test your limits to know your limits to push your limits, and when you push your limits, then you break your limits. Mm-hmm. So do that like with Lunar Unlimited. Everybody says the sky is the limit. I said there is no limit. Like, you know, my friend posted something, he tagged me in it the other day. It was like, they say the sky is the limit, then why are there footprints on the moon? Ooh. And I was like, that shit just gave me chills just thinking about that. Like, you can set your sights for the sky, but I'm going for something greater.
Facts. We're going to end it right there.
All right.
Right there. Listen, you could, what'd you say? Aim for the stars, but you're going to land on the moon.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming through,
man,
bro.
I appreciate you having me.
This is really great.
Yeah.
We out. Damn, boy, that was a good one, man.